19th December 2020, Indian team was all out for 36. That was their lowest total in a test series. 19 January 2021, that is exactly 1 month, India recorded its victory at Gaba, the fortress which was not breached for past 32 years. India has done it. Welcome to Cricket Talk with Venky. Venky, welcome to the show. What a day. This is a historic day in Indian cricket.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for inviting me here for this chat, Srinivas Murthy. It's great to be here on the show. And yes, what an amazing test match it's been, amazing test series it's been, and what a fantastic tour it has been for the Indian team down under.
Amazing, I would say. Venky, nobody actually had given any chance for Indians today to win this game. Yes, everybody expected after that SCG performance that India can draw this match. But India won. India chased 328. That's actually amazing effort, I would say.
Yeah, one of the highest chases, in the history of cricket, I would say. Of course, there's quite a few more, but again, chasing 328 is not an easy task at all, and that too, batting the fourth innings, and on a pitch that's been deteriorating day by day. There's been variable bounce, some vicious turn as well for the spinners. And chasing a mammoth score of 328, and that too against the mighty Australians. This is the best Australian squad, and not so good Indian team. I shouldn't be saying that. Actually, having these guys have shown a lot of courage, a lot of skill, character to win this test match. So it's just outstanding. I would say the contribution from each and every individual in the series, in the test series especially, has been tremendous.
No, Venky, as you rightly said, this was not the first test 11 of India. As you rightly put, see, when this particular test started, we hardly had a fit playing 11. And people who are in the bubble as support bowlers, were inducted into the playing 11, like Washington Sundar, who was actually, branded as a T20 cricketer, then Natarajan, who had made a name in T20 cricket. These people were forced to make debut in Test cricket, and how well they have performed, Venky.
No doubt about it. When nobody gave a chance for the Indian team after the first Test match and losing the first Test match, I think they came back superbly well. In the second Test match, they won. Third Test match, they drew, and the fourth one, the decider. Going on to win the test match and the series, it's tremendous. And there's been plenty of positives, especially from the debutants in the series. I mean, there's quite a few debutants in the series. There was, I think, somewhere around close to 7 debutants, playing in the series. I mean, they showed great confidence, I would say. I mean, from Shubman Gill to Washington Sundar to Natarajan. T. Natarajan, the left-arm seamer. Yes, as you rightly mentioned, Mohammad Siraj as well as one more debutant in the series. So, I mean, as you rightly mentioned, I think few of them were there as part of the team to bowl in the nets for the Indian batsmen. And when the Indian team had so many injuries, Srinivas Murthy, I think these guys stepped up. And I think we need to spare a thought here for the support staff as well. I think they have done a brilliant job. Their strategies, their plans, and the players also stuck to those plans. And also the support staff giving them the confidence without Virat Kohli, without Bumrah, without an Ashwin, without a Mohammad Shami, without a Ravindra Jadeja. You guys can still do it. You guys have the skill and you can showcase that skill. And that shows the bench strength, and not just about the bench strength. That shows the talent this country has. And also, I think we need to congratulate Board of Control for Cricket in India for having an outstanding domestic structure for cricket.
Wow, I mean, amazing, I would say. But again, Venky, just focusing on today's game. That is, when we started at 4 for no loss, and we had to score another 324 runs. But what we saw, even though Rohit Sharma got out early, the positive approach, they always wanted to stay in and chasing with this particular target. The thought was not there to, their approach did not show that they were going for a draw. They needed 146 runs, Venky, after tea, and how well they achieved it.
Yeah, I think the combination was brilliant, the team combination, and secondly, I think there was a bit of a shift in batting order as well. I think that's where I think we need to congratulate the support staff for doing those slight changes. In fact, Rishabh Pant came up the order before Mayank Agarwal. So I think they knew during tea, they knew that they had a chance, they had a slight chance of winning the test match, and they wanted to keep Mayank Agarwal slightly lower in the batting order so that he could stay, suppose if they had lost a wicket. And of course, we have seen, we watched Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar play an outstanding innings in the first innings. So they knew that they had a lot of batting in them to save the test match if it comes to. But then, and Rishabh Pant being Rishabh Pant, I mean, he's been a dominating batsman. He's been one of the fastest wicket keeper for India to score those 1,000 runs as well. So that shows us the skill set, the caliber in the batting in his batting. So I think all put together, I think it is a wonderful show.
Canara Bank. Together we can.
I would say, Venky, this is one of the greatest victory because, considering the things which were against this team. See, they were in a 3-month bubble. After the IPL, they went straight away to Australia. Then they suffered a huge loss, massive loss. Even though, yes, India had won the T20 series, one-day series India had lost. But coming to the test match, Virat Kohli was there only for one test. And that particular pink ball test, India lost very badly. From then on, coming back, and in spite of having injuries for the main players who were not available, you have said already, Ashwin, Jadeja, Bumrah, Shami, Umesh Yadav, you name it, the top Indian players were injured. But again, this team stood up each and every occasion.
Absolutely. I think the two important things here, Srinivas Murthy, one is, I think, from the responsibility that the senior players showed. And the senior players, after Virat Kohli left, the senior players were Ajinkya Rahane, Rohit Sharma, and Cheteshwar Pujara. I think all three of them, shouldered the responsibility superbly well. Ajinkya Rahane's leadership skills was brilliant. His field placements, his bowling changes was outstanding. And of course, when the team didn't have the services of Virat Kohli, he came up and he scored a century as well. So that was terrific. And secondly, we saw Cheteshwar Pujara's batting today in the fourth test, the fourth innings. That was, terrific, I should say. I mean, he was slow, of course, but the kind of blows that he took on his body, he just made sure that he didn't throw away his wicket. So I think that shows the courage and the character of Cheteshwar Pujara, and of course, followed by the other batsmen. So even Rohit Sharma as well, being a senior player, played a decent, of course, didn't go on to get a huge score, but still he was there, up the order and then scored those runs, and there were some partnerships, and laid a very good foundation as well.
This augurs well for the Indian cricket, I would say, because the kind of bench strength that the Indian team has, gives a lot of confidence for not only the team management but also the selectors. Venky, one thing I would like to ask: 90s, if you see in the 90s, 2000 and early 2010, if an Indian cricketer was making his test debut in Australia, especially if he's a batsman or even a bowler, it was considered, very a tough job, or it would have been the most difficult debut, they were telling. But these guys made their debut here in the most critical and intense series, and they have come out successful. What is the change that you are seeing from then to now?
Well, look, the point is now these guys are very confident. They're the present Indian team. They're very fit. They're confident and they're fearless. So I think that's the most important thing here, is to say that I don't care. We might be playing in Australia, we might be playing against the best of the bowlers, but still, I'm going to go out and showcase my skill and play as freely as possible. I think that sort of an attitude is brilliant, and that's what you expect from the present generation, isn't it? Earlier, of course, you always was scared of your position. If you get out, then maybe you might be dropped. So you tend to stay there. You tend to play for the draw, or you tend to score your runs basically. Or as a bowler, you tend to get your wickets. Those sort of things used to happen. Of course, now they don't have that. IPL definitely has made a huge change in their mindset, in their approach towards the game. I think that's what we have been seeing. Like as you said, the last session we had to score 140 runs after tea, and they scored it. So that shows their mindset, that shows their ability.
You earlier mentioned that BCCI has a very good domestic structure, and you mentioned IPL is 100% Indian domestic tournament, but it offers opportunity for our local players to rub with the best of the best in the business. Apart from this, Venky, India has invested hugely on the India A tours. I think that has also prepared these players very well.
No doubt about it. I think it's been a wonderful plan as far as the Indian board is concerned. Where they send players early before the tour starts so that they get used to the conditions. I think the adaptability factor here, I should mention this, saying that the Indians adapted much better for the Australian conditions than the Australians themselves in their own backyard. So, our bowlers bowled outstanding lines and lengths, hit the right areas, basically use those conditions really well. Those cracks could be whatever, and also the batsmen, they occupied the crease much better. The technique is much better than the Australian batsmen for sure. They took those blows. They were not scared about that. You might bowl at 140, 145. I don't mind taking it on my shoulder or on my helmet and so on. I think they showed a lot of character in that. So I think they adapted to the conditions really well, the Indians. And one of the reasons is obviously, they go early to those tours, get used to the conditions, get used to the pitches, and that is one. And secondly, if our team needs to go one step further, I think most of the players should be playing domestic cricket. Whoever is not playing for the Indian team, they all should be playing the domestic cricket, so that the other guys, when they rub shoulders with the international cricketers, the other domestic cricketers I'm talking about, they would definitely get more confidence.
Canara Bank, together we can.
Superb effort, I would say. Venky, again, coming back to this particular tour, if we talk T20, we won, ODI, we lost, but again, test series, the most important, and because why I am saying most important, Venky, this victory has brought India to the top of this World Test Championship. We are in the #1 position, and you should say, or rather I will say, that they deserve this position.
Oh, 100%, 100%. If you win test matches outside your home country, playing outside, so you get a lot of confidence, and that's what the Indian team has done. In fact, in 2018, when Indian team won in Australia, people were talking about that the Australian team didn't have Stephen Smith or David Warner, whereas here it was a full team. The Australian team was the best team that they played, and the Indian team was without the services of few of the best players, and without them still going and winning those matches and winning the series, it's a huge boost. And yes, I think that it's great for the confidence of all the players.
We have to make a special mention about these young stars, I would say, starting from Shubman Gill. Rishabh Pant was awesome, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, Natarajan, and Shardul Thakur.
No doubt. I think, see, you don't have to have the pace. See, all our fast bowlers, from Saini to Shardul Thakur or T. Natarajan, they were all bowling high 130s basically. They were not touching 140s or 145s like Mitchell Stark or Pat Cummins and Hazelwood for that matter. So, but still, they were hitting the right lines, right lengths. They're consistent in those areas. So consistency matters. You've got to hit those just back of length in Australia, of course, and depends from condition to condition, of course. In Australia, you've got to hit those just back of length, not too short or not too full. So you've got to hit those back of length deliveries, which they did extremely well. And because of that seamer position, they're able to swing the ball both ways. I think, as I said earlier, the players, the bowlers especially, they use the conditions really well, better than the Australian bowlers.
We should never forget the contribution made by Ravichandran Ashwin and Hanuma Vihari in drawing that SCG test. If we had lost the test, probably we would have ended up as leveling this test series. Ashwin was standout in his performance, but again, Venky, Washington Sundar has surprised everyone with his all-round capabilities, not just bowling. Nathan Lyon today was playing his 100th test, but I would say Washington Sundar looked more effective than Nathan Lyon.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Of course, you can't take anything out of Nathan Lyon because he's been a consistent performer for the Australian team, and of course, not many had seen Washington Sundar in the Test matches, but then he hit a great line, and of course, his trajectory is completely different compared to Nathan Lyon's. Nathan Lyon is more of a orthodox spinner, whereas Washington Sundar is flatter. The trajectory is flatter. He's more picker through the air. But the length was brilliant, and now the test really starts for a lot of players like a Shubman Gill, T. Natarajan, Washington Sundar, and Mohammad Siraj, players like that, because they have set a standard. Now they got to sustain it. They got to live up to that standard every single time when they get onto the park. So it's not going to be easy from now on. They've definitely passed the first test in flying colors, no doubt about it. But how they're going to go about in future is what is that we got to wait and see.
Superb, Venky. Thank you very much. I would say this season 1 Cricket Talk with Venky was really awesome and enlightening for us and our viewers. Venky, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been great talking to you, Srinivas Murthy, and sharing my views and opinions and experiences on this show.
Thanks again, Venky. Viewers, thanks for watching Canara Bank YouTube channel. With this episode, we would like to end this season 1, I would say. We will join you with some more cricketing action shortly. Keep watching Canara Bank YouTube channel. Thank you.